Hey, we just might be live. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. It is so great to see you here. You made it to 2022. I made it to 2022. I thought I'd do this New Year's Day live stream while I'm kind of waiting for the snow to accumulate outside. We've got a bit of a snow event. So, I don't know. It's hard to tell how much we're going to get. We're right on the lake, so we get like this lake effect snow, which is more snow than most people get. So, really it's hard to say how much we're going to get. It's between like 3 and 6 inches, maybe more. It's hard to say, but the snow thrower is ready to go. My old dinosaur that Blanca absolutely hates. It's this big scary rusty thing that I manage to get running every year. It's ready to go, right on the front steps. So as soon as I get enough accumulation to justify making a bunch of noise with the monster, I'll fire it up, and I'll be a good guy and I'll clear a few houses worth of sidewalks. But I thought I'd go ahead and do this live stream and do a Q&A. I did one yesterday, and I really didn't have anything planned to say, but a lot of people had questions. So I thought I'd go ahead and just do a Q&A today. Start off the new year. Anybody has any questions for me about anything, go ahead and throw them in the comment section. If you don't have any questions, then I will ramble on. The chat's open. Jump in, ask whatever questions you got, or say hi. Let me know who you are. I got 5 viewing right now. I got 1 like. Thank you. Thank you for your likes and your subscriptions and your comments, by the way. I really do appreciate those. Those mean a lot. I will never hustle you for money, but I will hustle you for your likes, your comments, and subscriptions. I really do appreciate those. They do help the channel. And we hit 60,000 right at the end of the year, right around Christmas time. I think Howie's girlfriend Lori was my 60,000 subscriber, which was really nice. So thank you for that. What's up? Is it is it Kylie? Hi Kylie, how are you? Welcome to the live stream. I have a brand new niece named Kylie. My nephew married her. I'm getting to know her. Her name is Kylie too. But yeah, so here we are. And it's weird because in years past, after Christmas, I was really looking forward to the NAM show. That was like kind of the next thing on the calendar, right? Where there was new equipment to look at, there were people to meet, there were just new things going on in the industry. You could go to California, you could check this stuff out, big event. NAM's been moved to June, so I no longer have that excitement thing, right after Christmas. I've got to kind of find something to do. My schedule's been all thrown off. What's up, Cool Hand Scott? How are you? Welcome to the Q&A. Throw whatever questions you may have for me in the chat. If you have any, I will do my best to answer them for you. But like I said, until you have questions, I'll ramble on. I did see a comment today in the EV Evolve users group. I don't know if you guys are members of that. It's pretty interesting. I use the Evolve stuff. And it's a question I see a lot. They're like, why doesn't Electro Voice make like an Evolve speaker with a 15-inch subwoofer? Because we're all trying to add subwoofers to our Evolves, and it would just make it easier if we just had bigger subs. Well, I think a lot of people are kind of misunderstanding the whole point of the Evolve series. They're supposed to be an easy, compact audio solution, something easy to set up. It's compact, done. When you make it bigger, it's no longer compact, right? So it's kind of like the world's tallest short person if you make it bigger. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be small. If you want something bigger, you need to get a bigger system, really, because it's not really, I don't think, built to be a booming system. And then some people may argue, hey, yeah, but other companies have these bigger solutions. Like, well, those are other companies. And, I'm not here to bash anybody, but really, as a general rule, I think if you want more sound, you probably should have highs and mids to match all the bass you want to throw out. And if that's the case, maybe you want to go with a more traditional, larger system Like the EKX, for example, I think is really nice. Somebody said, "Well, I want the DSP and the sound quality of the Evolve, but I want bigger." And it's like, well, try a full size system instead of putting all this bass behind these little, array speakers. Why not just get a two-way tops that match your subs and go for it? I don't know. But then, people are still going to want to go ahead and put bigger subs behind their Evolves, and I just can't stop them. Let's see. We have questions. K&K Music Entertainment. How are your bookings for 2022 going? What is your percentages between weddings and all other events? Thanks for what you do. It's really appreciated. Well, thank you. Um, 2022 is kind of a wild card right now. It could go a couple different ways. I'm getting calls for it, and I've got some stuff on the books. Excuse me. Most of the time, I'm like the last minute DJ. I don't usually book events out a year in advance or whatever. I'm usually like the 3, 4 month in advance guy, sometimes 6 months in advance. But I don't book way out. It just doesn't happen. I get plenty of work, and it's usually more of the last minute stuff compared to what a lot of people do, where they book a year and a half, 2 years out. So that's happening. I've got something for October. I've got something for February. I've got something for July. The reason I say wild card though is I don't know if you saw the Welcome to Rockville gig that I did, where I was running that karaoke system that I built. I'm not a karaoke jock. I mean, I don't play one on TV or anything else, but I can run this system and I can host this event. If the client would like to have me come in and do this more often, then I may be really busy this year doing that. However, they are not in a position to commit to anything right now. They haven't made their schedule yet. They don't know what events they're going to be attending for music festivals and stuff. So that could happen. And if it does, and I'm out with this system, even if I'm out teching it and not performing with it, I could be really busy this year. And it would be a very lucrative year. It would be an exhausting year. But I can do it. I did it at Rockville. And I think once I do it one more time, if I do this rather consistently, I think that I'll condition myself to be able to do them pretty well. Take some time to adjust to that crazy schedule when you're doing like 4 days in a row and 12-hour days, a lot of traveling. The company does take care of you though, good accommodations, good flights, none of this, sitting in steerage kind of stuff. You're actually in a good seat, you're in a good hotel, you get a good rental car. They don't skimp in that regard. And you have a nice per diem for whatever you need for that day for food and stuff. So if that happens and I end up out there doing this thing like I did in November for the Welcome to Rockville show for Swisher Sweets, then I'll be a busy guy. If I don't do that, yeah, it's back to weddings and all that stuff. I'm primarily doing weddings, and I would say, I don't know, geez, if I had to think of a percentage on it, I don't know. I'm probably a good 80% weddings, and then other stuff just kind of fills in here and there. If that answers your question. Kylie would like to ask, knowing the thoughts on Electro Voice, if you want bigger, then they suggest a bigger system. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I'm at on. I know Mike Deso. He's a good guy, and he was very instrumental in putting together the Evolve 50s and the 30Ms and the 50Ms. He's a really good guy. He knows what we're about. He understands that this is something that DJs are really going to find useful. He knows that bands can use it too. But yeah, the whole point of this thing was not, you know, the biggest little system. The point of this thing was compact and easy. So that's why they made it like that. And I know there are other companies out there who make these bigger versions of that. LD Systems has the Maui 44 G2, I believe it is, and it sounds beautiful. It's a gorgeous sounding system. It's a 15 bottom, I think. The arrays are insane on it. It's got waveguides on it. It's a beautiful, beautiful system. When I was working with LD Systems before they pretty much completely got rid of everybody in North America and has one guy there who I don't really have a great relationship with or much of a relationship with. Um, I was introduced to that system. I was going to be the guy out there showing it to you because I thought it was so cool. But I will say this about it: I wouldn't have been able to haul it and set it up myself. I wouldn't have even been able to put it together myself. I wouldn't be able to get my hands around the columns that set on top. They're heavy, they're big. I couldn't do it one handed. I mean, most of you could, but it's not a compact system. It's a big system. It's a great sounding system. It's a beautiful sounding system. But if you're going to go that big, maybe you might want to consider a traditional two-way top cabinet with subs underneath, and you can go with whatever you want. You can go with 12s and 15s, or 12s and 18s, or 15s and 18s, or it doesn't matter. There's all kinds of cool configurations that you can get for that. So I don't know if you like the sound quality of Electro Voice, and it's really good. I think it's fantastic. I really like Electro Voice sound quality. And so you're looking at Evolve, and it's not enough. You want more? Try the EKX. They're good. If you want something giant and you're doing like 800 plus person events all the time, ETX is amazing, but you're no longer compact. Understand that this is big stuff, and it is what it is. So, thoughts on that? Those are my thoughts on that, I guess. What about agency work for you? Yeah, I've had some conversations with the agency recently. They had an October gig that they're asking me to do. They had, I think they put together the April gig I'm doing. The agency is kind of a weird deal. For those of you who don't know what this is, there's been an entertainment agency in Milwaukee since like the 40s, I guess, and they used to be the ones who would book the band at the Holiday Inn when the band at the Holiday Inn was going to be there for like 12 years. They were just always there, and they would take a cut because they booked it. And they got into DJs in the 80s, and I was doing some work with them through another company at the time. Now they do bands and DJs, um, and I do a lot of the DJ work for the agency. However, the agency has changed ownership, and it's a great new owner. There are a lot of new agents at the agency. They're young, and they're nice people, but I don't even know what their voices sound like because they're always texting me. I don't know if they know what I really do or what I can deliver. It's hard to have a conversation with them about things sometimes. So there's a lot of text back and forth with the agency these days. They'll say things like, "Hey, you want to do a wedding on this date?" I'm like, "Tell me more. Where is it? How long is it? What are they looking for? How many people? What's going on?" Well, I don't know. Well, find these things out and get back to me. Then we can figure out what a good price is for it. I just need more information than they want to initially give me. They want me to just flop on the date and commit to it, and then they're going to tell me what's going on. Can't do it that way. I have to have more info before I agree to do a date. And not only that, but there are times when sometimes you have such a tight turnover between ceremony and reception, even with two systems. And the small systems that I have, that I need an assistant. And if I do, if it's just a real convoluted event where, I'm going to need some help, I need to have some help, and I need to be compensated for hiring that help. You know what I mean? So it's got its advantages, it's got its disadvantages. And I think it's really good once you find a rhythm with your agent and they really understand you and your product and what you do, and they understand that there are certain things you offer and certain things that they get with the price, certain things they don't, certain things you need to charge for, certain things that are just included. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And the whole COVID thing didn't help, where all entertainment shut down. They were struggling. They were doing something else. We kind of lost everything. We were kind of getting to know what each other did, and then that happened. But they're still friends. They're still good people. I do still work with them. But yeah, it's primarily text. I would like a little more one-on-one with the folks at the agency. I think that would be good. Coffee, believe it or not, cold coffee. That's how I roll. JC, what's up, dude? Happy New Year to you in Mexico City. See, Ray asks, do you have any recommendations for a single event online insurance coverage? So many out there seems like. Well, I don't. I mean, you can usually get it through like an organization for a group rate, but I don't know. I hate to give advice for anything that's legal stuff simply because I'm not an attorney and I don't play one on TV. But I mean, typically what people go for are those $2 million policies. So it's like, a million per incident, maximum of 2 incidents per year kind of thing. Just to have it. I mean, that's just what people do. I'm not sure what organizations now are giving discounts on that, but I, yeah. I mean, I'm umbrella through the agency right now, so I'm good there. They've got me on a policy, but yeah, it used to be 80JA, but I don't think the 80JA is here anymore. I think they're gone. I don't think they exist anymore. Let's see here. Kylie says, "Yep, me and my dad used to have work. Oh, me and my dad used to work for Telex Electro Voice, so I still have a lot of the factory scrap and test equipment. Oh, that's really cool. So okay, Telex, interesting, interesting. That's pretty neat. Yeah, there. I mean, I know Mike. I haven't been up to Minneapolis. I know it's a Bosch-owned company now, and so that's cool. I mean, you can take advantage of, their engineered pool when you're building things. I do think it's a good product, though. Hi, you have helped humans keep up the good work. Well, I try. I'm just trying to help, and I hope that I do help. Hope I am being helpful in some regard. So I was thinking about something the other day, and this is weird. Tell me if you think this would make a good video. If you think this would make a good video, let me know. If you think no, this is a dumb video, let me know. And I may have mentioned this in my last live stream, but I was talking to Jay Brennan, and he was talking about how in 2022 he'd really like to learn more about scratching. And I asked him why. And he says, "Well, I want to, get more into the turntable thing because Pioneer has the new was it the PLX series or whatever it is turntables, the direct drives. They've been out for a few years now, but he'd like to do an offering through his company where he shows up and does an event with records and turntables, maybe through Serato, probably through Serato. He thinks it would just be, a little more, um, how do I want to say it? Okay, so he just thinks people may like the offering. They may opt to go that way. It might cost them a little more, or whatever, but if they want that, they can have it. So he was thinking about getting more into that. And I was kind of scratching my head because, well, Jay got into this when CDs were around, right? I got into this when records were around. And Jay lives in the world of controllers. I mean, he demos for Pioneer and all that stuff, and he does a great job with it. But it got me thinking, I don't know that Jay really understands why the things his controllers do are cool. You know, simple things. And VDJ has these things too, like to loop a track. It's a matter of hitting in when you want to hit in and out when you want to hit out. And you can do your brackets however you want. You can do, just 4 bars, 8 bars, 2 bars, 1 bar. You can do whatever you want to do. That was something you had to loop with records. That was a big deal to loop. The program makes it easy. It's cool that you can do that so easily. You can be more creative, but just a simple loop on a turntable was kind of a cool thing to do. It wasn't like about scratching. It was about blending. In fact, in my world, and doing more bars and clubs and things, we didn't scratch. Scratching was something street performers did. We were doing kind of almost disco style back in the disco days. We're just blending one track to the next, just beat matching tracks and putting together sets that made sense. And if you wanted to create like a flange effect, you did a jet where you line the same song up at the same time, and you could make that effect on a controller. You hit the flange button or you turn the flange knob and that you get that effect. And then, there's cool things like sampling, which is stuff that we achieved kind of through just, like a baby scratch with a closed fader. It just occurred to me, well, I don't think he understands why the things he has in his controller are cool. And I'm not suggesting that records are better or anything else. I'm not even kind of suggesting that. It's just a perspective thing. And I'm not sure how to put this in a video. I've been thinking about this for a while. I still can't get my head around it, but I don't know. I think that'd be interesting. Maybe not, though. I don't know. I have to work these things out, and sometimes I do them live. Let's see, what do we got here? Hello, my friend. I'm working on new music. Get a chance, come through. I'm taking time doing projects on Ableton Live. Right on, man. Right on. Yeah, PLX 100. That's the direct drive one they have. The new lights you have demoed. Will you use them at events or stick to your Ape Labs? Are you talking about the mothership? I don't know. I mean, I don't need the mothership. And when I show the light, when I show a lot of products, and I've talked about this before, sometimes it's not necessarily because it's something I want. It's something that I see someone may find value in. If it's not for me, that's okay. But maybe you'd like it. So I show it. I might use it. I don't know. I really don't know. I programmed one for Wavy Davy. I don't know, right before Christmas. I did a video on that. We went and did it on the Airstream DMX Bridge. He's incorporating that in his show. But I don't know. Yeah, I really do like the ease and use of apes. I think that's good stuff. Let's see. Kylie says, "This is how I started my interest in becoming a DJ too, because of all the pro audio goodies we had, especially when Telex brought out the whole EV family of companies before Bosch bought us out." Oh, right. Yeah. Um, there's so many toys on these new controllers and things. There's so many little things you can play with. There's a lot of effects, and a lot of people like the effects. I do, I guess, get concerned sometimes that stuff seems to feel more effect heavy and there's less thought into the actual set building and programming. But that's just me. And I'm old school, and I admit it. Maybe that's a very old way of thinking, and it probably is. But just because you have a technique down or you have the ability to create an effect, that's cool. But you need to know what to put your effect on. You need to know what tracks to be playing. I don't know. It's just different. Old school is not always bad school. Old school was okay. We learned things there, and we were limited. We didn't have access to every song in the world. We had what we had, and we had to make some kind of sense of what we had and present that. And our limitations forced us to be creative, and our creativity helped us grow as DJs. It's very different now. I understand that, but I don't know. It's strange. To me, it's strange. Hey, Reg, what's going on? What lighting software do you use for DMXing? I have not uh, personally ran a DMX show for probably over 3 years because I'm using all the Ape stuff. The last time I did program DMX, I was using the 80J Airstream DMX Bridge. You need an ISO um, device for that, like Apple, like an iPad or something. And I have used different protocols. I found the Airstream DMX Bridge the most useful and intuitive and helpful. There is a learning curve. I've done videos on it. There are people out there. I think Joe Lott is the gentleman's name from the UK. He did some great video tutorials on the Airstream DMX Bridge. He's very techy. I'm not very techy. I followed his videos just to set things up initially. Once you initially understand how to set things up, you can do some pretty neat stuff with that program, especially if you're programming moving heads. But it is an investment. I mean, you have to buy the Airstream DMX Bridge itself. I think it's around $400, and then you have to invest in a tablet. Not only any old tablet, but an iPad. And the good news is that the Airstream DMX bridge, it does have built-in Wi-Fi, which is ADJ's wireless DMX protocol, and it's not only Wi-Fi, it's Wi-Fi EXT, which is extended range. I think it's up to 2,500 feet, which is a lot, you know. So yeah, that's what I used last time I did it. That's what I used, and if I were going to do it again, I would have to find an ISO tablet, buy one, because what I have is over 10 years old. In fact, I think I got it for Christmas 2010. It's that old. I need something updated, and then I could run it. The software is free. You can download the software if you have an iPad. You can play around with it, and it has a visualizer in it and such. But yeah, I think that's a really good setup for DMX, especially if you're just getting started. Howie Darkstar, who just did a program show for some Olympic tryout stuff, that's what he uses and puts on great shows. Does a really good job. Uh, let's see. I heard on DJ and TV that the Ape Labs products went up 30%. I don't know. It's hard to say what's going on. I haven't talked to the people at Ape in a long time. Right before the pandemic hit, the person that I was working with in the US left the company. Someone else came in. We were going to try to get a relationship together with the new guy, but then COVID happened and Ape kind of, hid in their shell for a while until the pandemic was over, and we've kind of lost touch. I don't know what's going on over there right now. Question: Superstars like Adele are offering special vinyl versions of their albums. Where's the question on that one? I missed the question. It's a statement. Yeah, they are. Yeah, artists are offering special vinyl versions. I don't buy new records usually when it comes to like a digital recording. I find it more interesting to get an analog or a single. I love singles. Um, yeah, I don't know. If I listened to Adele, I think I would probably not want to listen to her on my turntable. I'd probably want to listen to her, as through an MP3. I mean, it's a digital recording. Why not listen to it digitally? CDs and yes, I don't miss the old days of CDs and cassettes. And I I remember them. I like them, and I'm not suggesting that anybody who's not using CDs or records or anything else is less of a DJ than those who are going digital. It was just different, and I think that everything on the controller, oddly enough, going back to that for a minute, every single thing on that controller is emulating something you could do with a record. Every single thing. I mean, just about right. You could do the same thing with a record and a mixer. That's crazy when you think about it. Platters, pitch, loops, all that stuff. Effects. It was all stuff that you could do analog, and all the controller is doing is emulating those things for the most part. That's what it looks like to me, anyway. I can 100% guarantee that Ape Lights is coming out with a new light really soon. I'm sure they are. I hope they are. I hope they're doing well. I hope they're doing well over there. Hey, Jimmy, what's going on? I'll probably come into the chill room in a little while. I was just trying a live stream. Thought I'd give it a try. So I'm trying to keep up with YouTube DJs. I don't pay any attention to other YouTube DJs, and that's the truth. I don't watch anyone else's videos. I'm just evil like that. I don't look at my rearview mirror much. I just keep driving forward. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and check and see how deep the snow is, because I figured once we had over 2 inches, I'd go ahead and clear everybody's sidewalk. Maybe 2 houses that way, 2 houses that way. Just be a nice guy, fire it up and clear some stuff to keep up on it. And hopefully we won't get hit too hard here on the lake shore. So that's it. I just thought I'd do this live stream and see what was going on. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys like these, I'll do them more often. I don't know. I don't always have something to say, but it's nice to tune in and just hear what you have to say or what your questions are. Yeah, the north isn't getting hit. We're getting hit down here, though. The further north you get, the less it gets. The further south you get, the more it gets. So the border is getting hit pretty hard. We're seeing Kenosha, but up here, yeah, we're right on the borderline. So, anyway, take care, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great 2022. We'll see you soon. Practice and enjoy.